Hello everyone. Welcome to the second of winter/Christmas specials. It's KyouHabaKinKuni time and their time to get some presents. Or sneak some presents maybe. As always, special thanks to my lovely patrons and all of you who still watch my videos. Don't forget to subscribe to keep up with the uploads and check out the members only posts, especially the Jealousy and Confession series. As Christmas slowly approached, Kindachi felt like a little kid again. His family, being half from overseas, always went all out for the holidays, creating a heap of unforgettable moments for him and his brother. He held a bit back when he lived with just Kunimi, but now that there was 4 of them in one household, surely that deserved a proper Christmas celebration since their first ones were a little hectic with moving together and stuff. At the very least, Kyotani and Kunimi didn't seem to mind decorating their house, and he even managed to recruit Yahaba to help him out. If that wasn't a good sign, he didn't know what was. And he could also try bringing Yahaba to different thoughts. It was clear something was weighing on his boyfriend's mind as of lately. Heavy enough he found him crying on one occasion. Even then Yahaba didn't say a word about what haunted him. But something was scaring him, Kindachi knew that. But what is it? He knows he can talk to us if someone's bothering him, right? Where should this go? Kindachi startled, almost dropping the fairy lights he was trying to untangle for the last 10 minutes, but managed to smile before he turned around to face Yahaba. He was holding a box with a set of small glass figures, a Christmas heritage of the Kindachi family, and watching him with a tilted head. Oh, I think we can put it on the shelf there. No one really goes to that corner, so it will still be visible, but not in danger of getting knocked down. Okay, sounds good. He started to put out the figures one by one, handling them with so much care Kindachi wanted to coo a little. It was one of the things he had loved about Shigeru since high school. The way he treated gifts and things someone considered precious, reminding him of a parent taking care of children. He would be a great dad, I bet. The thought made him melt and sad at the same time. It would be adorable to have a child running around. However, the chances of them getting a chance to adopt or foster a kid was very, very low. He shook his head to chase away for now unnecessary thoughts, and instead focused on now and the issues at hand. Despite the soft look in his eyes and the occasional smile, Shigeru was still visibly unwell, and he was determined to help in any way he could. Do you think Aki will actually go through with that promise to bake this week? I hope so. His cookies are always great. Although he did say he's pretty tired lately. Maybe just saying that so he can get cuddles from Kentaro. He regretted reminding Shigeru of that immediately after the words left his mouth, but it was too late to take it back. He couldn't see it very well, but he was sure he saw the smile disappear from Shigeru's face before it returned much sadder than he would like. Can't blame him. Yeah, I mean, you can come to me for cuddles when those two are busy. It's probably not going to be the same, but I'll do my best. He mentally cursed himself for the awkward blabbering, but the grateful look in Shigeru's eyes when he looked at him made it somewhat worth it. I know. Thank you. For nothing. That's what I'm here for. Anyway, have you thought about what gifts you would want for Christmas? Gifts? Yeah, we can't have a Christmas tree without gifts. Yahaba paused for a moment as if thinking hard about something, his eyes trailing over the decorations they've put up so far. I don't know. We never gave each other gifts in my family, and Ken usually got me something for the New Year's. Then maybe we can think of something. What do you say? He chuckled sheepishly, instinctively rubbing the back of his neck. I'd like us to have a little exchange if that's okay with you. You know, doesn't have to be big, just some small, thoughtful stuff. He was risking a lot by suggesting this, considering how anxious Shigeru got when he was just picking out a movie for them. But he hoped the gift exchange could make his boyfriends happy. And much to his relief, Shigeru smiled at that. Not forced, not sad. His real sweet smile he loved so much. And nodded. Okay, that sounds nice. But does that mean we shouldn't tell others what we want? Nah, let's not complicate it too much. Maybe we could each write a list of options? That could work. He grinned and, in a sudden surge of childishness, tossed some of the tinsel to land in Shigeru's hair. Let's talk about it when the two get home. Yeah, I'm in. Let's make things easier. Of course you would say that. Kindachi chuckled at the pout settled on Kunime's lips, glad his idea was met with an agreeable response. Not even because of himself or because the gifts, but mainly because of Yahaba. If he knew what each of them wanted, there was no reason for him to get anxious, right? Never would I thought I would be writing a Santa's letter. But it's kinda nice, isn't it? Gyotani smiled, gently tugging Yahaba to his side to kiss his cheek. Very nice. So, let's say we exchange them by the end of the week, so we have enough time to get the stuff. Sure. Are we exchanging just one? Meaning everyone buys 3? I think that's fair. Time flew by as if it didn't even exist in the last 3 weeks. Or at least Kindachi had that feeling. With all the decorating, baking and shopping, he didn't even notice the holidays were getting close until it was time to put all the gifts under their beautiful tree. Thanks to Yahaba and his sense for detail and color matching. Every time he went by, he couldn't help himself but stop and admire the branches shimmering with white and silver for at least a little while. Especially loving the ice-like glass stars Gyotani brought last week. It was nothing like his family celebrations when he was a kid, but no less beautiful. It carried a spirit of their relationship in a way, the peace and quiet and love they shared. He carefully arranged his 3 red boxes under the tree, a childlike excitement bubbling in his chest upon spotting the other red gifts already placed there. Good job convincing them to do this. Now let's just hope the gifts are good and nothing goes wrong. We should have brought them out tomorrow. Confused, he turned to Kunimi sitting a bit aside, his arms crossed over his chest and the familiar pout on his lips as he stared at the gifts. Why? It's pretty. He means he's tempted to look already. That's not... Okay, yeah, but like, you both teased so much and now it's just lying there. Gyotani grinned, apparently quite content with himself. It wasn't like Kunimi was wrong, although in Kindachi's case, sad teasing was just his excitement to see his boyfriend's reaction to the gifts speaking, not a purposeful mischief. However, it also spoke volumes about how excited Kunimi was, which in itself was a small miracle, and he absolutely loved it. Speaking of though, he glanced around to search for Yahaba, finding him fidgeting on the other side of the room, his foot tapping in a wild rhythm into the floor. He had been like this for the last 2 days, and neither of them was able to coax the reason out of him. Shigeru? He jumped, the phone almost falling from his hands while his eyes darted around as if looking for danger, the sight stinging deep in Kindachi's chest. What? Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Oh, No, it's fine. I wasn't paying attention. Worry similar to his own flashed across Kyotani's face. But given their past unsuccessful attempts, there wasn't really much they could say or do to convince Yahaba to talk to them right now. Not unless they chased him into a corner. I was just going to ask if you want some cookies. I'm going to get a plate. Hey, leave something for tomorrow. You're like a swarm of locusts, I swear. He froze the moment the words left his mouth before he hastily motioned to Kyotani and Kindaichi. I meant 2 of them. You can take as many as you want. You almost haven't gotten any yet. A soft smile curved Shigeru's lips, but as much as he probably tried, it was nowhere near his real ones. I'll take some later. He got up. I need to head out for a bit. Don't let Akira do the gifts, okay? Hey! That sounded much more light-hearted than Kindaichi expected, but the click of the closing door still sounded strange to his ears. He tapped Kunime's shoulder as the man let out a soft groan, giving Kyotani an apologetic look. Sorry, I wasn't thinking. Kyotani sighed but shook his head, not appearing cross with them. It's fine. He had a few without anyone having to offer them, that's good. Besides, you can't always be watching your tongue. But we should. It's serious. I know, but it's just going to make you stiff and let him know that I told you about it. Right, they weren't supposed to know. They weren't supposed to worry. Except they did. A lot. Do you think that's why he's so nervous? I don't think so. Though it definitely is connected somehow. He sighed again, for a second looking closed before he collected himself again. Let's not worry about it right now. Although you better make sure this Christmas is unforgettable. He raised a challenging eyebrow at Kindaichi, and there was nothing more he needed to say. Something didn't want to let him sleep that night. If it was expectations, nerves, or something supernatural, he wasn't sure, but a soothing darkness just didn't want to take over him. He felt like a kid again in a way, reminded of how desperately he tried to stay awake every year to catch whoever was slipping the gifts under a tree. Unfortunately, his parents knew him well, so he wasn't successful a single time until he was old enough to figure out the truth. But it was fine. He still loved his memories and didn't feel betrayed at all. On the contrary, he appreciated the gifts and his parents even more for actually getting him what he really wanted. I wonder if Shige ever felt like that. The thought surprised him, although the Yahaba family situation wasn't a secret among them, even before Kyotani let them know just how badly Shigeru's supposed parents hurt him. He wished they could do something to override his memories with some nice ones they made together. Maybe even this holiday was his way of attempting that. It's not working as well though. He went still when he felt someone stir beside him. Soon he heard light tapping of bare feet on the wooden floor, and then Shigeru disappeared in the hallway. Contemplating his options, he stayed for a while longer before his curiosity got the better of him, the urge to make sure everything was alright growing on strength with his every step. He tried to move as quietly as possible, thankful for the carpets along the way, and soon he stopped at the opening to the living room. There, in the softly glowing lights, Shigeru was kneeling down without movement, his eyes fixated on a small box laid in his lap. It was a breathtaking sight, truly, with Shigeru's hair fitting the silver theme perfectly. But underneath that, Kindaichi worried about what his boyfriend was doing up at this hour. Reminded of the similar event in the recent past, he pushed himself to relax his posture and smiled, carefully crossing the remaining distance between them. I hope you aren't sneaking a gift. Shigeru startled, but he seemed more embarrassed than panicked when he looked up. A sigh escaped his mouth then, his gaze falling back to the present in his hand. No, I just don't know what to do. With what? With this. He clenched the box a little tighter, the motion flashing the words to Akira in golden color from the light, obviously at the end of his strength. I was trying to get the correct thing, but no one has it anymore. Kindaichi mentally kicked himself for thinking of the gift exchange so late when good half of possible presents was gone from the shelves already. He gently wrapped his arm around Shigeru's shoulders and pulled him into a hug, his heart aching when Shigeru slumped against his chest. Is that why you were so anxious the whole time? Yahaba nodded. I was trying to find it everywhere, but no one has anything like that. But you got him something, right? That's enough. But it's not what he wanted. I tried to choose something he could like, but it's not the same. I don't want him to be disappointed. With a soft sigh, Kindaichi took the box from him and put it back under the tree, and then squeezed Shigeru to him. If only hugs could chase away bad thoughts, he would gladly sit there the whole night. Unfortunately, he lacked that power, but he could at least try. He won't be upset, trust me. He'll never be upset about anything from you. But I'm serious. Knowing you chose well. And knowing him, he's going to melt because you actually know him enough to give him something without him having to spell it out. Shigeru stilled in his arms as if thinking, before he hesitantly raised his head. You think so? I'm sure of it. He leaned down to kiss Shigeru's forehead, and then gently tugged him up. Come on, let's go to sleep so the time passes faster. It didn't take much convincing for Yahaba to get up as well and follow him back to the bedroom. Yet Kindaichi still wrapped around him like an octopus to prevent any more potential night trips. Shigeru seemed to appreciate the closeness if he could judge by the content hum and the way he also squished close to him, the soft silver hair tickling on his face. He had no intention to remove them though, just like he didn't intend to let go until morning. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I am so not happy with how this part turned out voice-wise. I don't know what was happening, but it just wasn't my day apparently. I don't remember it being this bad, but hey, whatever. I still hope you enjoyed it and that you liked this little fluffy sidetrack for KyouHabaKinKuni. Well, not entirely fluffy, but mostly fluffy. And obviously we are going to continue in this storyline. I also have some interesting stuff coming up for them. I'm just not sure when I will get to it. But eventually, definitely. If you have any requests or ideas, the request form is linked in the video description. See you next time!